Hi, my name is Double King, and I've never been hard stuck. Right now I'm Ascendant, and when I originally placed I was Silver 1. A lot of people liked my last video where I made some honest tips about how to improve in Valorant and get you better. So, I'm gonna make another video. Let's go! Tip number 1. Have you ever been in a situation where it's a comp game and for some reason or another you're really tense, you might be a little bit stressed, you might be nervous, you might not be performing good enough? I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you have a tight grip on your mouse in these situations because you're stressed, you're tense, these things happen. I think personally that your grip is a great indicator of how confident you are at any given time. Valorant specifically, because Valorant is really reliant on precision and speed. So if you want to practice this or you just want to see proof of concept, if you have AimLab, go ahead and open it and go to 6-shot. It's by AimLab. 6-shot tests your precision and accuracy. Try running 6-shot with a tight grip versus with a loose grip. Chances are you'll have a better score if you try with more fluidity with a looser grip. Fluidity is important. Tip number 2 is going to be a bit more mechanical. We're going to talk about a situation where you're in a clutch and how to handle it properly. In this scenario, let's just picture a scenario where you have to clutch up and you have to defuse the bomb. So you get on site, it's a 1v1, you know where the bomb is, but you don't know where the enemy is. Now chances are when you tap the bomb, they're going to show themselves, right? So how do you handle it once you know where they're at? Usually you have 3 options. I'm going to cover option 3 really quickly. If you have smokes, you don't tap the bomb, you just throw it down and you stick the defusal. Now let's talk about option 1. This is an option that I see a lot of people doing all the time and it usually doesn't work out for them. It's not a great look and it ends up losing us the round. But it happens probably the most. This is where you tap the bomb and you look for them. They might peek immediately, they might not. You might have to tap a couple of times. But when they do peek, you just take a shot. You're standing by the spike. This is the big issue. You stand by the spike. If you stand by the spike, you're still keeping that distance between you and the enemy who's watching the bomb. Don't stand by the spike. If you do this, there's a million things that could happen. You could get hit with a lineup, you could get killed, you might kill them, you'll probably just get baited into losing time and then having the bomb go off. So don't do this. I offer option 2. You tap the spike, you find out where they're hiding, and then you rush them and you force a 1v1. There's a reason that they're hiding. It's because they're not confident in taking a 1v1 and their team isn't confident in them taking a 1v1. You tap the spike, find out where they are, and then you rush them. Chances are, you'll get the kill. If you do it right with Peeker's advantage, you have a better chance of getting the kill. In conclusion, in spike defusals, tap the spike, find out where they are, go rush and kill them. If you have smokes, just throw it down, stick the defuse. Tip number 3. This one's mostly for my low elo players who are really interested in climbing and getting better at Valorant, getting more headshots and getting more consistent. You probably heard this one before, maybe you haven't, and if you haven't, that's why I'm doing this. Sensitivity. Gotta lower your sensitivity. Chances are you have a high sensitivity because that's what you're used to. In a lot of shooting games, you want to transfer over that same level of sensitivity, but it just doesn't fly in Valorant. It is in Apex, it is in Call of Duty. This game runs a lot more like CSGO and you have to be very precise. Some of the shots that you're going to have to hit may be only a couple of pixels wide and you have to hit those shots, otherwise they probably will. So personally, I recommend that you go 800 DPI. Putting your sensitivity in game, I recommend putting it anywhere from 0.2 to 0.37. Anything above that I think is high and anything below that I think is too low. Just try to keep it in the lower ranges because those small shots are the ones that really matter. And Valorant is all about micro adjustments. The smallest adjustments, because you want your crosshair to already be in the general vicinity of where you're about to shoot. So you're only going to have to move it over just a little bit every time you're taking shots, generally. So low sensitivity has the advantage over high sensitivity. Alright, tip number 4. This one is important. I think that it's a little bit hard. You see all the time on TikTok, not knowing when to stop queuing for comp. Now I said in my other video that you can make an alt account for comp and try playing a little bit more stress-free. As much as I accept that, sometimes you just need to restart before you play comp again. Now, I think that it's okay to get off every once in a while. You know, you maybe lose a game or you win just barely, but either way you didn't help too much and it kind of feels like you're having a hard time. You're really tense when you're playing. Look, either you take a step away or this is what I do if I just want to keep on playing because, you know, we all get there sometimes. Play some deathmatch. Look, when you play comp, it kind of messes with your ability to relax. It kind of messes with your grip. It kind of messes with the way you take fights, your nervousness, your anxiety. It can mess with you in several ways. So playing gunfights, like playing just tons of gunfights in deathmatch can really reset you and recalibrate you, get you back and ready, more confident to play another comp game. Taking a step away from comp and then recalibrating through deathmatch and just taking tons of gunfights, ego peeking, being a little bit stupid, it can get you back in the zone and get you back into the right way to play comp. I mean, think about it. Who do you want on your team? Do you want the person that hides and waits, maybe baits teammates because they're too afraid to push in? They don't push with the team. They just kind of wait for everybody to die and they're like, why did you guys do that? Don't you know they're over there? They're too afraid to take fights. Look, Those teammates aren't the ones you want on your team, so you don't want to be that teammate. And generally when you're losing pretty bad, you turn into that teammate through a bit of fear. So playing some deathmatch can give you back that confidence to take those fights and hit those heads and get your teammates to round, upping the morale. It's just, sometimes you gotta recalibrate, and that's okay. Alright, so this is another tip I have. Now, this one I haven't used too much, but I did use it once on my main. I went from gold 2 to, or maybe it was gold 3. Anyways, I went from gold to ascendant in this one act. Now, I did this completely solo queue. However, on my main, when I got to ascendant, I was actually duo queuing with somebody. I met some guy that was really cool in a Haven game. Haven's my weakest map, and he was popping off. So like, hey, you're really chill. I liked him. He was nice. So after the game, I sent him a friend request, and we started duo queuing. This dude was really helpful on my way to ascendant. Him and I could always rely on him. My tip for this one is if you find someone that's actually really good and is really helpful, he's nice, and maybe you guys want to play together, add them after the game. Don't add them during the game or towards the end of the game, because it might cause a little bit of awkwardness during with like other teammates, or maybe pressuring him to say yes or something, or them. I don't know. Personally, I would just wait till the game is over, send him a friend request. It's the most nonchalant, most chill way to add somebody. You send them a friend request, if they add you back, cool. Now you have a new duo queue partner, and if maybe you're not doing so good, you got someone who can rely on. And if they're popping off and they need a smoke, maybe you can be that smoke, you can be that controller, and you two can work together to help secure you guys the next round. I don't know much about trio queuing, but I know duo queuing is good because it's just two people that can rely on each other, and you're not rolling the dice on all 4 people. It could be all just throwing the game, might not calm. If you've got 2 people calming, that's a whole lot better than just you calming by yourself. My advice is if you see somebody that's really cool and you want to add them after the game, they're really helpful and they can help you climb the ranks, add them. And if not, if they don't add you back, I mean, shoot, there's usually a carry for almost every game you play, so you got plenty of options, you got plenty of chances. My final tip for this video is more about the learning, less about the losing. Look, I know a lot of people liked that when I said it last time, and I really want to stress it. When you play this game, you're going to get destroyed a lot. You got to learn that it's okay to learn. And this applies to every aspect of life, and in Valorant too. And this is the biggest part about climbing quickly, is if you get destroyed, you don't want to say, no, how? That's weird, he's playing so trash, he's playing weird. No, be like, oh, shoot. Why didn't I check there? Or that's it, like maybe you haven't seen that before, maybe you haven't seen a play like that before. Understand that a lot of climbing is learning, overcoming, and adapting. If you want to be a better player or better at anything, understand that losing is where you learn the most. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys like those tips. These are my honest tips on how I think that you can improve faster if you play Valorant the right way. This is how I do it, and maybe these tips can help you guys climb if you incorporate them in your gameplay. Appreciate all the love I've been getting from you guys, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.